Hi everyone, my name is Taylor. So everyone that's watching right now, know that this is my first ever makeup tutorial. So know that I'm very nervous and very excited. So today what I'm gonna cover is how to use contour, because I feel like that's something that's very nerve-wracking for a lot of people to use. And I totally understand, because I was the same way when I started using it. So basically, what I have on my face already done is my foundation, my eyebrows, and my highlight. So for my highlight, I just used something a little bit lighter than my skin tone, applied it kind of in the T-zone here, under the eyes, and on the chin. Basically, the spots where the sun would naturally hit your face, we're just going to enhance those a little bit more, and that's already all blended in. So for contour, as I was putting this video together, I just realized that basically everything that I'm using is e.l.f. for this, and I use it every day. I love to use e.l.f. brand for the face, for blending and contour and highlight. It's actually a really cheap brand. You can find it at Ulta, CVS, pretty much everywhere. So this right here is a cream contour palette. I'm going to show you guys. Here it is. Got a couple of different shades. This one's more obviously for highlight, and this one is for different contour. You guys can see I'm so nervous that my hand is shaking right now. So this here is an e.l.f. setting powder. I've already used this already to basically cover up a lot of the highlight area. If you're like me, you have lines under your eyes. I get all these lines up in my forehead, kind of like flakes away the foundation. So if you put a little powder on it, as you can see, it's basically gone. I use this so much. It really helps set that. So I put that on right after my highlighter before I do anything else on my face, to make sure all of this isn't going to crease by the time I'm done with my makeup and I don't have to redo my face. So that being said, there's a lot of different ways that you can do contour. There's a million different ways. I've tried a lot of them, and I have definitely found what works best for me. Hopefully it will work for you guys too if you want to try. I definitely find it to be the easiest way to get a natural blend in the contour of your face. So just like highlight hits where the sun would naturally hit in your face, we're going to put the contour where there would be natural shade in your face. So one of the most popular places would of course be the cheekbones. As I'm talking, you guys can already see the natural shadow in my face. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to enhance that, and I'm going to show you a couple more areas on the face that we're going to contour. So I find that the best way, again, to get a natural blend on this is to use a contour brush, again by e.l.f., to apply it, but then to use a beauty blender to blend it out. I have a bit of a heavy hand, so whenever I tend to blend things with a brush, I tend to look like a clown because I've rubbed it into my entire face instead of naturally blending it out. So I'm going to use the lightest color, because just always go lightest first if you're unsure, because again, you don't want to look like a clown. I've made all these mistakes before, so don't worry about it if you do. So just give it a little dab in there, and what we're going to do is we're going to put it right along this line, like I said, where the shadow kind of naturally is already, right on that cheekbone there. So you don't want to go too crazy, you don't want to go too far, because again, we're going to blend all of this out. You can always add more. It's not as easy to take it away. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, just right in that spot. I'm almost pushing up into my cheekbone almost. So it's okay if they're not even. It's okay if it's messy. You're going to blend it all out anyway. So that being said, you're going to get your beauty blender or sponge or whatever you like to call it. And I've also learned that every time you use one of these, it's best to spray them. It makes, again, more of a natural blend. It smooths it out into your skin instead of like pushing it and dabbing it on almost. So I'm just going to give it a spritz without spraying my cat in the face because he's sleeping. And I have something coming up on my phone. All right, so now that it's sprayed, just, dab it up a little bit. And what I like to do is to do a nice rolling motion. So you don't want to push too much, but you just want to give a nice blend here. Don't mind me, I'm going to look in a mirror to make sure I'm not looking crazy. So you just want to dab it up here. Sometimes I even suck it in See, make sure that I'm in the right spot here. You can already see a much more like a natural instead of so harsh. But we're still going to blend it out a little bit more because you don't want to see any demarcation lines, which is just, you don't want to see a harsh line there. We want it blended out. Oh no. Well, looks like one of my lights went out, but thankfully it's not the one that's facing me right now. So, it's nice and blended out there. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. It's always a little bit difficult on either side because, unless you're ambidextrous. But, so again, you want to try to roll that up. Sometimes it's easier to do it out this way. Whatever is more comfortable for you. Roll it up, always into the hairline. You can already see that looks like I have a naturally higher cheekbone already. I'm just blending it out, trying to even it out a little more on each side. Excellent. Seemed like this one was a little bit higher up. I'm just going to wipe that and blend it out a little bit. It's totally not a big deal if you make any mistakes because you're going to blend it all out anyway. So, as you can see, it already looks like I have a more natural contour to my face. It looks like my cheekbones are a little bit higher up. So, a couple more tips for contouring to kind of even out the entire face is other places you want to contour is around the top of the head here. And a lot of the times, especially if you're like me, get a little bit of a double chin here. Just kind of want to make it look like you shaved a little bit of it off. So again, we're going to go with that same color. You can always go darker into the shadows if you want a little bit more of a dramatic look. And we're just going to really draw that right over my forehead there. Take my beauty blender and just blend that right out, right into my hairline. Less is more. You can always add more on. Way more difficult to take things off. So you can see it's all coming together now, all these shadows. It's really going to bring the front of my face into the focal point. Okay, we can see it all coming together now. Again, I have a larger forehead, so I want to kind of look like I'm shaving that down a little bit more. As you can tell, it looks a little bit darker in my hairline, as my head's a little bit more petite. So oh no. Well, we lost this one too. Well, that's not the end of the world. Let's turn you guys this way. All right, so anyway, last but not least, sorry the lighting is a little funky now, but we're going to finish this up. So the chin area. I always like to go up a little higher here, because if you're like me, I kind of have these spots. I'm already starting to hang down a little bit here. So we're just going to cut up into those a little bit. Really, wherever you see light hitting it that you don't want it to is where you want to use the contour to try to shave it down. Again, beauty blender. I know I look like a crazy person right now, but once it's all blended out, okay. Again, I apologize. The light is a little wonky now, and I know everything looks a little bit different, but hopefully you guys can tell. Let me stand over in the light now that I'm done. Okay. So, hopefully you guys can tell now the areas that are contoured and highlighted. You can definitely tell that my face is more in the focal, not my face, the front of my face, the eyes, the nose. This area here is brought more to the focal point. You know, my cheekbones look a little bit higher, jawline looks a little bit slimmer, head looks a little bit smaller. So just a couple of tips on contouring. Use a beauty blender. Always, it makes it easier for a natural blend. Definitely go lighter before you go darker, just in case, because you can always add more on. Same thing with, a heavy hand. You don't need to put a whole thing of makeup on, just go easy. Just put a small little dab across, blend that out, see where it goes, A daytime look is going to obviously need a little bit less than a nighttime look, but as you can tell, it's a very natural blend right now. I could throw on, a little bit of lipstick, a little bit of eyeliner, mascara, whatever, and I could be good to go out. It looks natural enough to do that. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I apologize this was long, and I apologize that the lights went out, and if there's anything else weird about it. But thank you so much for watching my very first makeup tutorial, and this was how to use contour.